costs to import one pallet from Australia to New Zealand. The most important cost, that would be your ocean freight. Then upon arrival, obviously you have to move the container from the port to a local warehouse to unload it and make it available for you so you can pick it up.
Welcome to the show for business owners, proudly brought to you by easyfreight.co.nz.
Today we're talking about the costs to import one pallet from Australia to New Zealand, and we're gonna discuss how you can import one or more pallets of general goods. My name is Max, and if you want to learn other business tips, how to save money and avoid mistakes, make sure you subscribe now, because we've got different speakers and different topics every week. So let's first of all discuss what is a standard pallet. It's basically anything that doesn't require special care. That's your appliances, furniture, clothing. Also important to specify that's one pallet. It's a standard size, 1 meter wide, 1 meter deep, and 1 meter high, which is 1 cubic meter up to 300 kilos. If you want to import from any major port in Australia, whether it's Sydney, Melbourne, or what's the other one, Brisbane, then you can pretty much use these rates. They're gonna be applicable in all situations because the rates are very similar from these major ports, and then the same applies to New Zealand. If they come from major ports in Australia to the major ports in New Zealand, you're gonna use very similar rates. The major ports in New Zealand are Auckland, Christchurch, and Tauranga. First, and one of the most important costs, that would be your ocean freight. You're gonna pay for 1 cubic meter, you're gonna pay roughly $50 US. That's your ocean freight if you want to move the goods from major port in Australia to a major port in New Zealand. Then upon arrival, obviously you have to move the container from the port to a local warehouse to unload it and make it available for you so you can pick it up. These fees are called New Zealand port fees, and I would allow roughly 100 New Zealand dollars per cubic meter. Then you've got extra fees, and we call them as your documentation fees, your customs brokerage fees, and what else? Yeah, basically documents and customs brokerage fees. I would allow 250 New Zealand dollars to do the customs clearance and pay your documentation. If you add this all up and convert, obviously you've got $50 US and the rest is in New Zealand dollars. If you convert everything and add everything up, you've got 1 cubic meter from major port in Australia to New Zealand will be $420. So as you can see, it's not that expensive to import, and these are your mandatory costs. I'll explain later what are the extra fees and how you can minimize them. So you've got $420, that's your minimum to import one pallet of standard goods that doesn't require special care. On top of that, you want to think about cargo insurance. Cargo insurance is roughly 1% of the insured amount. Say if it's very expensive machinery and it's $20,000, then that would be $200. That's just for the insurance. That's on top of $420, and that's minimum. If it's say $5,000, expect to pay at least $200 for the insurance. So you have to decide whether it's worth the risk, and we advise all our clients to have cargo insurance. It's paramount, especially if that's your first import to New Zealand. You don't want to risk. Another extra fee that you want to think about is obviously the trucking. Once the cargo arrives to New Zealand, you have to obviously think how you're gonna transfer the goods from this local warehouse to your warehouse or to your house, and a freight forwarder can help you with that. They can hire the truck, arrange the delivery, and I would allow 100 New Zealand dollars for 1 cubic meter. That's on top. That's minimum. If you've got bad access, you may need to hire, I don't know, a crane. They charge $200 an hour, so you have to be careful with that and make sure if you order the truck, that this truck will fit your driveway. So you can send the photos to your truck driver and get in written confirmation. Yep, that's gonna be an easy access. Right, so if you want to import more than one pallet, if you import say 3 pallets of the same size, and it's gonna be 3 cubic meters up to 1 ton, you don't multiply this figure 420 by 3, because that's gonna be just too expensive. You might as well just send the whole container. If you send 3 pallets, you only multiply this 2 on the top. and the rest will be fixed. And the more you send, the cheaper it is. Always negotiate. You can easily knock down, I would say, 10%. And if you send anywhere, I don't know, 10 shipments or 20 shipments a year, you can get even better discounts, 15%. Easy. Say 3 pallets, 3 cubic meters, 1 ton. If you multiply that and add the document fees, customs brokerage service, that would be 750 New Zealand dollars plus GST. I would have to mention that obviously these all fees exclude GST because businesses, they can claim GST back. It's a common business practice to add GST on top. Obviously your taxes are on top, and you may be required to pay import duty. So the taxes, import GST in New Zealand is 15%, and import duty in New Zealand on most goods is 0%, but in some cases it could be 5 to 10%. But a good customs broker will be able to find special codes that could save you some money on duty. So once again, it's a good thing to talk to your customs broker. Make sure that they have experience in your commodities that you import, and you'll be able to save, say if it's $10,000 of goods. I've got a client that imported some building materials 1 month ago, and their customs broker unfortunately used the wrong customs code, and they had to pay 5% on $10,000, which they shouldn't have had paid. And yeah, so that's money wasted. Make sure you talk to your customs broker in advance and get 3 other quotes, and you'll be able to see whether you're gonna save or not. These are the what are the common mistakes? The common mistakes when you import the goods is not getting a quote from a local broker. In many cases, you get a good price for ocean freight. Sometimes you get a free ocean freight, believe it or not, for shipping goods from overseas, from Australia to New Zealand. But little do you know that some of the costs will be hidden when the cargo arrives in New Zealand. There will be another middleman, another company that will give you a call, say a week before arrival, and they'll send you another $300 or $400 or could be even more in extra costs that you didn't budget for. So my tip of the day is get at least 3 quotes, and I would definitely use a local freight forwarding company because you will be protected by the New Zealand law, by the Fair Trading Act, and if something happens, you can visit their office, you can talk to them and work it out, because hey, most New Zealand companies want to find a mutual solution. They want your business, because if you import it on a regular basis, you have to be mad not to, find some common grounds. All right, so today we talked about 3 major costs, 3 fees that you have to pay when you import 1 pallet from Australia to New Zealand. If you've got any other questions, please send us an email. We'd be happy to answer. And if you enjoyed this information, make sure you subscribe and join us every week, because we've got good, awesome stuff coming soon. Talk to you soon.